Hello, hello, hello. We are live on Facebook, live on Instagram, live on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. And I made a commitment to myself this week, going live every single week. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm spreading the word of Facebook ads and marketing. So many of you got into business because you want to impact the lives of others through your skill. You have some kind of special skill and ability, and you want to be able to help people, right? You want to share that skill with people. Okay, but the problem is you don't know how to get clients into your business. One of the best ways that I found to get clients into your business is through Facebook ads. Okay. That's my special ability, and I want to share that with everybody. So every day this week, I'm going live, I'm talking about Facebook ads. And today, we're going to dive into what a part of Facebook ads that most people don't understand, which is the ads manager. Okay. Most people think that when we talk about Facebook ads, we're talking about boosting a post or just, posting on Facebook in general. But I'm actually talking about a very specific thing, which is the ad, running ads from the back end and the ads manager. And that's what we're going to go over today. All right. So let's get right into it. None of the fluff. I want to get right into start providing value for you guys. All right. So the first thing I want you to know is how to access Ads Manager. Okay. So the basic of it is you just can go to adsmanager.facebook.com. All right. Adsmanager.facebook.com, and you're going to see it right there. You can also kind of Google Ads Manager Facebook and click the first link. It's going to pop up. So this is the Ads Manager. This is where majority of your ads are going to be built. It's where you can get the data from your ads, and it's where you can have the most control on your Facebook ads. It doesn't matter what your business is, okay? Whether you're a gym owner, personal trainer, dog walker, whether you're lawn care business, landscaping, carpet cleaning, pressure washing, construction, dentists, lawyers, doctors, chiropractors, it doesn't matter. Okay. You're going to need to run ads for your business. And this is where it all starts in the back end in the ads manager. This has nothing to do with the front end of your Instagram or your Facebook profile. It's completely separate. Okay. So this is where you run ads. And I'm going to run through the basics of what it entails today. Okay. So the first step is you're going to click on this thing called the create. Okay, create new campaign. And the first thing it's going to prompt you to do is to choose a type of campaign that you want to run. Okay, there's different types of campaigns that you can run. There's awareness campaigns. So the awareness campaigns is how you're going to show your ads to a lot of different people. That's pretty much what it does. It shows your ads to a lot of different people. There's no specific objective other than that. Now, awareness campaigns can be interesting because one of the best ways to use awareness campaigns is to figure out who might be interested in your offer. Okay, so it's called top of the funnel. So what I could do is I could take a video and I could share that video using an awareness campaign, and then I can retarget people that actually watched the video. So I can say, if somebody watched, 50% of this video, then I want to serve them this other ad, which may help me convert. Okay. So I don't use awareness campaigns very much, but that's one way that I can do it. Another way that you can do it is traffic. Okay. So let's say I want to send, I just want to send a lot of traffic to one website. The problem with this is it's not a results oriented type of campaign. So typically when we're going to spend money on ads, we want to make sure that we actually get money back. Okay. We're not just spending money to spend money on ads. We are spending money to get a return on our investment. And if we're not getting money back on our ads, then our ad campaign is failing. All right. So it's important that we keep that in mind. So the problem with this traffic campaign objective is that there's no real main objective tied to it. Okay. We're just sending traffic to, the, excuse me one second. We're sending traffic to a website, but we're not really concerned about sales. All right. The next thing is engagement. Now, engagement also doesn't pay the bills. All right. It's fun. You get likes, you get comments, you get followers, but it doesn't pay the bills. Again, when we're running ads, the only thing that we really care about is return on investment. We don't care about likes, we don't care about followers, we don't care about engagement at all. At all. All we care is how many dollars we put in and how many dollars do we get out on the other side. So engagement, that's one type of campaign. Leads is the type of campaign that I use most frequently. And it's the one I recommend for most people's businesses, either leads or sales. And we'll get into sales in a minute. But a lead, what is a lead? My definition of a lead is a person that is interested in your products and service. They're going to submit their information to us so that we can then follow up on that lead and close a deal. That's a lead. A lead is someone that gives us their information saying that they're interested in our products and services so that we can follow up and close that deal. That's a lead. All right. Now, a lead, it can be submitted in a few different ways. We can send that person to a website and they can fill in their information there. They could start a chat with us via Messenger or Instagram chat. They could also submit an on Facebook lead form. Right? The difference between an on Facebook lead form and a website form is that the Facebook lead form is built into the app. There's a few different benefits to working with the Facebook lead form in that firstly, Facebook already has your contact information stored. So they don't need to type in their information manually. They just need to click, next or whatever, because their information is already pre-filled. And it also loads really, really fast because it's not sending you to an external website. It's all inside the Facebook app. So it's native. It runs really quickly. So there's no loading times. Okay. So typically it's one of the easiest ways to get leads. You don't need to build a website. You don't need to do any kind of developing. You don't need to optimize your website for conversions. It's already optimized and it's built in. And it's the quickest way to get up and running. It's like literally you can just, create a lead form and you're good to go. So it's very, very powerful. And it also has calls. I never had very much luck with calls. My call campaigns on Facebook have been very expensive. So I'm typically going to stay away from those. However, if they do call you, the chances are that it's going to be a stronger lead, but you have to always measure the cost of that lead to the price of that lead, the return on that lead. So if it's really high cost and really high intent, that's good, but you need to keep in mind that there's always going to be a trade-off between cost and quality. Okay, app promotion. I'm not going to cover this one because I don't really do a whole lot of apps. And then sales. All right, sales is kind of like bottom. We call it bottom of the funnel. The reason why we call it bottom of the funnel is because it's very action oriented. We're trying to get people to actually take an action and purchase on our website. Now, a sale could mean a few different things. It could even be just a conversion. Like we could use a sales campaign to track conversions of a lead. Okay, so you could also send sales campaigns to a Shopify store and have it that way so they can purchase it and you can track their actions on a Shopify store, for example. All right. So these are the different campaign types. The one that I use most frequently and the one I'm going to focus on today is lead campaigns. That's the one that most people are going to be interested in because they want to get customers into their business. They want to get customers purchasing their stuff. And so, the best way to do that is to get customer information and follow up with them. All right. So let's continue. All right, the next thing we're going to see is this thing. It's tailored lead campaigns versus manual lead campaigns. The difference here is that this tailored lead campaigns, they are going to be like, they have all of the Facebook presets. Okay, it's the easiest type of campaign to set up because they don't give you very many options. It's very limited as to the options that you can use in order to set up your campaign. So for beginners, all right, if you don't know what you're doing, maybe this is a good place to start. If you already know what you're doing, or if you work with a professional like myself, we're almost always going to go with manual lead campaigns because we know what every single feature is and how they affect the outcome. So, tailored lead campaigns, they can be good. I've had some success with it, but I typically like to have control over all the different features. So I usually go manual lead campaigns. So that's what we're going to do today, so I can show you what the different features are. Now, the first thing I want to go over is that there's a structure to the campaign to the ads manager. All right, there's these three different things on the side. This is how your campaigns are structured. You're typically going to have a campaign. That's this top level. You're going to have an ad set. That's this middle level. And then there's this ad. All right. And that's the structure. You have a campaign, you have ad set, and you have an ad. All right. The campaign is where you figure out, the high level structure of your campaign, right? Then you have the ad set, which typically has to do with targeting, has to do with audience, a lot of times has to do with budget, things like that. And then your ad. And your ad itself is the actual copy that you are going to show the customers, your prospects on Facebook. So, for example, you can have multiple ad sets, and within each ad set, you can have multiple ads. So that's what we're going to go through today. We're going to show each of these different things, and we're going to kind of dive into that. So the first thing is the campaign. We're going to set up the campaign. You can see there's not a lot of options here, not a lot of options. This first thing is a campaign name. You're going to name your campaign. I like to have it something specific based on my objective, based on whatever I'm trying to optimize for or test for. And then I like to always include the date as well. The reason why I include the date is because I'm constantly making new campaigns and I keep track of, what can like when I made that particular thing. Special ad categories. So for the most part, you're going to ignore this because that's not usually applicable. However, you need to know that if you run any of these type of campaigns, then you need to actually choose one of these. You need to declare that you're going to run one of these types of ads. And these types of ads are, for example, credit. So anything involving credit, any kind of financing offer, even if you're doing like construction, but you're like advertising a financing offer, for example, 0 money down, or $99 a month, anything like that, that's financing related, you're going to need to declare that there's credit involved. Okay, employment offers. If you're going to offer any kind of employment offer or professional certification or any kind of opportunity related to employment, you need to declare that as well. Same for housing, anything related to real estate, mortgages, or anything like that, you need to declare it as housing. And then social issues like elections or politics. Now, the reason why you need to declare it is because for these types of offers specifically, they will limit the type of targeting you can do. For example, if you are going to do an employment opportunity, you're not going to be able to advertise to specific genders or specific ages, just like you can't, filter your job applicants by gender or age, things like that. So when you choose and you declare one of these, it's going to restrict your options. Now, if you don't declare one of these and you are offering something in this category, your ad will be rejected and you'll start to get negative marks on your campaign, on your account, which can eventually negatively affect your ability to run campaigns. So if you have one of these, don't try to get around it. Just declare it properly, and it's not that big of a deal. All right, so campaign details, I never touch this stuff, all right? The campaign objective, we already set that. And then buying type, there's really nothing you can do here, okay? Just leave that leave it the way it is. A/B testing, we're not gonna touch that right now, we'll do it later. But obviously A/B testing is a very, very important aspect of running ads. The reason why it's important is because you can't just guess, you can't just guess what's gonna work. We can always make hypotheses about what's going to work, but until you actually test your hypotheses, it's just that, a hypothesis. Okay, so when you start running ads, you want to make consistent A/B tests to constantly be improving the performance of your campaigns. All right, and then Advantage campaign budget. And what this is if you have multiple ad sets, let's say I'm going to test multiple different targeting, Advantage campaign budget is going to allocate the budget towards the ad set that's performing best. I typically don't recommend using multiple ad sets in the same campaign. And the reason why is because if you're going to test which ad which targeting and ad audience is going to work best, the best way to test that is going to be in an A/B test. So, that's going to be the way to do that. I don't like to have multiple ad sets in the same campaign. That's just my strategy. Other people have different strategies. That's completely fine. So that is that. And then the ad itself. Oh, sorry, let's go into the ad set. All right, that's pretty much all there is for the campaign. Not very many options here, things to do. All right, let's go into the ad set. All right, first thing is the ad set name. Obviously, if you're going to be targeting a specific thing, it's good to name it so that way you can easily reference it and know what it is. The next thing is a very, very important part of the ad process. We're going to choose where we want the lead to be generated, whether the lead should be generated on a website, on a form, on a messenger, Instagram calls, etc. So if I were to send the traffic to a website and have them fill out a form, then I'm going to choose website. Instant forms is the one that I use most frequently because typically we're going to get the most amount of leads, and we can actually vary the quality depending on the questions that we ask in the actual lead form. Again, one of the reasons why I like instant ad forms is because it's native inside the Facebook app. So the lead time, the loading time is extremely minimal. And also, it's very, very quick to get up and running. It requires no development skills whatsoever. It's all kind of drag and drop, plug and play. Very, very simple, very, very quick to set up. So for the most part, especially when I'm testing an offer, I'm going to use lead forms at first, instant forms. And then, if I find an offer that really starts to hit, then I'll make a landing page for it and I'll begin to build it out more elaborately. When I eventually do send them to the website, I'm going to have better quality leads, but typically it's going to be a little more expensive and it takes a little bit more time to set up. So I usually will start with instant forms, and that's what we're going to focus on today. We can also do Messenger. Okay, so Messenger ads are, I click and it's going to send a button. It's going to send a message to me, and and then I can carry on a conversation and get their information and qualify them within the Messenger. And then, Instagram or phone calls, whatever it is that you're trying to optimize for. And then you pick the Facebook page. You pick the Facebook page that you want to run ads to. Performance goal. Okay, this is an important one. So, Facebook will offer you these two options. One is to maximize the number of leads, and the other one is to maximize the number of conversion leads. So again, when we're advertising, the main thing we want to do is get a return on that investment. We want to put dollars in to get dollars out on the other side. So we don't necessarily care about the number of leads. We care about the number of leads that are going to eventually convert after we after they submit that information to us. So that's the difference between these two. This first one says, just give me tons of leads. I want lots of leads, right? I don't care about the quality. The second one says, I want leads that are going to actually convert to sales. So that's going to be the one that I'm going to typically choose. Okay. That's just about all we can do there. Dynamic creative is a feature where I'll provide Facebook with multiple different media, multiple different copy, and then Facebook is going to choose the copy that is best performing. So it's going to automatically create different tests, and then it's going to choose which one is going to perform best, and it's going to show that one more frequently. So that's the difference between a dynamic creative and just a regular ad. I'm going to leave this off for now. Budget recommendations. So budget. Okay, so daily budget. A big question that I get all the time is, how much should I invest in ads? How much should my budget be? The first thing I want to tell you is to move away from this budget mindset, because we need to think about a return on investment mindset. Some people, when they get into advertising, they start saying things like, oh, I want to spend $500 a month on ads. Well, where did you come up with that number? Is it because it felt like it was an affordable amount of money that you can spend? Is it because it's not as scary as $5,000? Or why did you choose $5? It's arbitrary. Okay. At the end of the day, as long as I'm putting $1 in and getting more than $1 out, on the other side, I'm going to continue to invest. So what I typically do is I'll start at about $20 per day and I will run the ad and if I'm getting leads and I'm getting sales and conversions, then I'm going to continue to increase my ad spend until we can and as long as I'm profitable, I'm going to continue to increase my budget. $20 a day is a good starting place. And then as soon as I get my first sale, I'm typically going to reinvest those funds back into the ad spend, increase my budget, and that's how you scale a business. All right. If I'm spending $500 a month on ads and I get $4,000 in sales, well, I'm going to continue to raise my budget because I know if I put $500 in and I get $2,000 out, that's a 4-to-1 return on investment. So if I spend $1,000, then I'll get $4,000. If I spend $2,000, then I'll get $8,000. Got it? So I care about return on investment. So as long as I'm investing in money and I'm getting money on the other side, then I'm going to continue to invest as long as I can maintain that return on investment. So I'll start at 20 bucks a day. And then once I get the sale, I'll reinvest the profits and I'll keep going. Start date. You can set an end date if you'd like. You can set an end date if you'd like. So I typically will just run it for indefinitely and then keep an eye on it. And then, yeah, that's basically what I'll do. If it stops performing, I'll pause the campaign, but I don't need to set an end date because I typically want to just keep it going. All right. You can also schedule a budget. So let's say I only want to receive leads during business hours because let's say I have somebody that is, answering phone calls and I don't want to generate leads when that person's not there. Whatever it is, you can actually determine, like only show your budget during certain times, or you can increase budget during specific time periods, those kind of things. That's what you can do right here. Audience control. This is where you manage the targeting for your ad. So you can manage the location, you can manage the detailed targeting, so the interest-based targeting. Now you'll see here, the only real option there is right here is locations, but there's actually a little more button down here, and you can actually choose a lot more, options, right? Like age, custom audiences, things like that. But Facebook, Meta, they just want they want to do most of that themselves, which is fine because they're much better at it than we are. They're much better at figuring out who is going to be interested in our ad because they have millions of data points. So they're going to start to show your ad to different people, and as these people start to interact with your ad, Facebook will get an idea of the type of people that are interacting with your ad, and they're going to show it to more people like the people that are interacting. So Facebook is much, much, much better at figuring out who wants to see your ad than you are. They're much better. Why? Because they have millions of data points. They have tons of experience. They have, lots of data to pull back on, and they want your ad to be successful. They want you to make money on the platform. If you're making money on the platform, that means that you're going to continue to actually invest in ads. And so as long as you're profitable, you're going to spend money. So they want you to win. Okay. So they're going to typically try to get you to not be too specific here. And they're going to try to get you to, be more generic and let Facebook take the reins on this, which is fine. But you typically, if you're like, let's say you're a service business and you're only servicing a specific area, then you want to define that here. But if you're nationwide, then you should just go nationwide, and it's a much bigger market. And you can see on the right hand here, as you change these different parameters, it's going to tell you how defined your audience is. And in general, Facebook recommends that you have an audience that's at least 2 million in size. It may not always be possible. For example, my small business, my small exterior cleaning company that we run out of Northern California, there's only about 40 or 50,000 people in our serviceable area. So a 2 million audience size is just not feasible. But you can see as I change this, let's say I show you, like, I'm gonna show you the town that we work in. So Arcata, California. If I do this, it's gonna show you 85 to 100,000 people, which that doesn't even make any sense because in this area there's not 100,000 people, but it's estimated, right? It's estimated. But you can see this is not 2 million, but still, like, this is my serviceable area, so that's what I have to work with, right? Age, all right? If you select this here, you can actually choose the age. Now, guys, a lot of times it's gonna be best if you just leave this like blank as it is and don't actually change this. Like, this is actually new. They used to let you choose an age range, but now it looks like they only are letting me choose a minimum age range, which for me in the home services, that's going to be probably what I want to do because it's very rare to see homeowners below 25 years of age anyway. But I even will actually just leave it at 18, even if I'm going to be doing like targeting homeowners. And the reason why is because for the most part, once Facebook starts to understand who your target audience is, it's going to automatically choose like the more homeowners anyways, and it's going to skew towards that, the higher end of the age range. But you could fix that here. Languages, I leave it as all languages. Yeah. So this next section is the audience advantage plus audience. This is kind of like a new feature. So you used to be able to have really granular control, but nowadays they're moving towards like audience suggestions, and they even say like, oh, this is optional. You don't need to do this. But what they're doing is they're saying instead of showing it to people, let's say I want to let's say I have an auto detailing business and I want to show this to people that have nice cars. So let's say I type in here luxury cars or Ferrari, Lamborghini, or whatever it is, or automobile, whatever it is, right? Instead of that being a very fixed and rigid audience that we're going to target, it now takes it as a suggestion. So it's saying you can give the algorithm a suggestion as to the type of people that you're interested in, and it's going to take that information and use it as a suggestion and not like exclusively show it to those people, but have it be a starting point for people that might be interested in your ads, if that makes sense. So I can click it here. And again, there's more granular control here. So I can choose the age range and I can choose detailed targeting, interest, and behaviors. Let's take a look at this because this is a very powerful thing. So for example, I do Facebook ads for people. I help businesses run their Facebook ads. And I want to typically target business owners when I run ads to find people that are interested in my products and services. So one really cool thing is I can just do like business, type in business, and see the different options here. So people that are interested in business and finance, small business, B2B, right? All these different types of businesses. But one really cool thing is that you see this on the side here. It says behaviors. So that's less interest based, and it's actually based on an actual behavior. And in this case, small business owners. Facebook knows who is actually a small business owner. I can also specifically target business page admins. So if you have a business page, a Facebook business, you can see here on the right side here, it says Facebook page admins, business page admins. So it's saying if you own a Facebook business page and you're an admin of that page, then I want to target you specifically. So that's one thing you can do. Let's say that I'm doing the home services, right? I can type in home right here. I can see interest in home and garden. So typically, if you own a home, you may be interested in real estate. You may be interested in Costco. You may be interested in Pier 1 imports. So whatever it is, things that homeowners might be interested in. So I can click that, and it's going to use that as interest and target people that have interest in home and garden. So I can use these detailed targeting, and basically, again, these are just suggestions that Facebook is going to use. It's not a very rigid thing. You see, it says here, our ad technology automatically finds your audience, period. That's important. If you share an audience suggestion, we'll prioritize audiences matching this profile before we search more widely. So the benefit of that is if you have a clear idea of your customer avatar, you can speed up the learning process by suggesting to Facebook who you want to show this ad to. It's not rigid, it's a suggestion. That's important to keep in mind. All right. And all right, placements. This is kind of a newer thing too. So, some people they don't want their ads to appear next to certain content. Let me just show you an example. So I can let's say, let's see here, Facebook inventory filter. So there's three different options. They have expanded inventory, means show ads and content on all content, right? As long as it adheres with, as long as it's allowed to be on Facebook, I don't care. I want it to show. That's this option here. Moderate inventory says that it excludes moderately sensitive content. They don't really tell you what that is. Actually, they do. They have this little list here of which content is included for each filter. And then limited inventory. So no sensitive content whatsoever, no live videos. And this lowers reach and increased cost. It tells you right off the bat. So let's say you're like Disney, right? And you have a lot of money and you only want, and you're very selective about the type of people that the type of content that you want your ads to appear next to, then you might want to choose this one. For most people, you don't really need to touch this. You can leave it as it is, moderate inventory. Although I'm interested in testing expanded inventory versus moderate inventory. So that might be an A/B test that I could run in the future to determine if this is actually going to make a difference for me in the business and actually, hey, Rohan, thank you very much for the comment on YouTube. Rohan, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that you appreciate my content. I appreciate you for interacting. Thank you. So this is inventory filter. Okay. So you can also choose where your ad is going to show up and stuff like that. That's what this is for. I typically don't even touch this personally. All right. I just let Facebook do its thing. That's pretty much it. So I can also choose which placements it goes to. I will typically leave this and I don't touch it. The only thing I will touch is this audience network. Audience network is like third-party websites that are not Facebook. They may show them on third-party websites. I will typically uncheck this one because they're going to be the lowest converting inventory that Meta offers. So I don't really care about that. I'm going to exclude that. That might help you get a little bit better cost per result. All right. Moving on, that's just about everything in the ad set. So here, just to recap, we determined where we're going to convert. We determined the Facebook page, the type, the performance goal, the budget and the scheduling, and then the audience and the location. All right. That's what we do in the ad set. Okay. Now it's time to move on to new leads, to the leads. This is where we talk about exactly what we're going to be showing on the platform. All right. This is where we create the actual ad creative. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose the Instagram account. If you don't have an Instagram account set up for your business, then you can actually use your existing Facebook page and it's still going to show it on Instagram. But when you click it, it's not going to go to your Instagram profile. Ideally, you have an Instagram that matches that's tied to your Facebook page. And so, that's going to be the best thing because that way somebody can click on the thing and check out your Instagram and maybe even follow you and just kind of adds to the whole social proof concept of being able to check you out before they, submit their information to you. And here's where we set up the actual ad itself. This is where we create the ad. So the two main types are single image or video. It's where you, just as it sounds, you're going to put one image or one video, and that's your entire ad. Another option is a carousel. And a carousel, that's where you can see it right here. It kind of gives you a little sample of what it might look like, where there's multiple little squares here. Okay, so the user will be able to choose one, swipe and see different images on the exact same ad, like a carousel of images or media for your ad. And yeah, both of them work great. You should use both of them. And that, yeah. So 90% of the time I'm using a single image or single image or video 90% of the time. All right. Multi-advertiser ads. I don't like to have this clicked It depends on the business and the business model. But what this is I'll read it to you. It says your ads can appear alongside other ads in the same ad unit to help people discover products and services from your businesses that are personalized to them. Your ad creative may be resized or cropped to fit the ad unit. So this is gonna say, like, let's say I'm a mobile detailer, like I do car washes and stuff like that. So this is gonna like put my ad next to other car washes, which for the most part is not going to be very beneficial to me. So I usually am going to uncheck this because I don't like the idea of like having 5 mobile detailers, because then it kind of commoditizes your product or service. Then it basically says, oh, okay, which one's cheaper? The customer thinks which one's cheaper. Now, if you have a service that's very differentiated from your competition, this may be a very good thing for you. Or if you are, very, very cheap, a lot cheaper than the rest, and you know that you can beat them out on price and still be profitable, I don't know, not a great strategy. But if that's your business model, then maybe you want to have this checked. Ad creative. All right, this is where you upload the actual image or ad for your ad. I'm going to go ahead and choose something as a sample for you. Okay, so all right, I choose my video. Okay, this is the video I'm putting up here just as a sample. All right, and now the primary text. The primary text is like the caption, basically. So I can type here, let's say roof cleaning in San Diego, blah, 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 the best in the world, whatever it is. Okay, and you'll see a preview. The preview is going to pop up here so you can see what that looks like. You see, this is where your caption shows up. And one important thing about this is you need to understand that only the first couple of lines are actually going to be shown in this thing. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, I'm going to add some random text here. And you can see it gets cut off at about 3 lines. So you only really get like, I don't know, 200 characters before it starts cutting it off, and then you have to click more to see. So it's very, very important that the first line or first couple lines of your ad copy are the most captivating, and it's going to capture the attention of your audience. Rohan asking me a question. Do we offer mentorship? Yes, we absolutely do. For mentorship, I offer classes. We offer a service for you. Go to my website, Alistair.com, and you can get started by downloading a free PDF. All right, Alistair.com. And I'll show that to you right now what that looks like. One second. Okay, I'm going to share this tab. So if you come to my website, all right, this is my website, Alistair.com. You can click on this free PDF cheat sheet, and you can enter your name and your information right here. Okay, somebody else's information is in there, and then you can get this free PDF cheat sheet. All right, you can download right here, and once you do that, you're going to get my free PDF cheat sheet, and there's more information about how we can work together as well. All right, so if you're interested in working with me, or if you want to get more information, you want to take it to the next step, this would be the way that you do it. Okay, Alistair.com, www.alistair.com. All right, coming back to our ad campaign. So, you can add multiple, multiple versions of your ad, which I highly recommend you do. And, Facebook actually is going to allow you to it's going to use AI to create multiple versions of your ad. And if you like one of them or all of them, you can choose them. They're just okay. They aren't like really, really good. They're just okay. So, you can use this, but use it at your discretion. Typically, like if you're not very good at writing copy, okay, go ahead and do this. Ideally, you are good at writing copy, and add copy is the words on your ad. So ideally, what goes into a good ad. But if you don't, maybe you want to give these a try. And again, as anything in advertising, advertisers only as good as their ability to test and experiment things. So you test things, you track the data, you reuse what works, and you throw out everything else. And then you repeat the cycle. Okay. So again, the primary text is basically the caption that goes on top of your ad right here. Next is the headline. The headline is what's going to appear right here. Okay, so let's take a look. I like to use this as an opportunity to inspire action. So I'll usually say something like, uh, click, click, you know, sign up now. Okay. And you can see it shows up right here next to it. So if I see it, I'm okay, click sign up now. Okay. Sign up right here. I'm going to click it. Sometimes I'll even include like a little emoji right here, like pointing at where I want them to do. And it's all geared toward getting them to, to act and to take action. And you can see in different places, it's going to show up in different ways. So this headline is going to show up here sometimes, and sometimes it's going to show up here. So it really just depends on, on the placement of the ad of where the headline is going to show up. All right. And then the description, honestly, I hardly ever even use a description because it doesn't even really get shown very much. And let me give you an example of what it gets shown. So I'm going to just copy some random text right here so I can show you an example of how it'll look. Like copy this, paste this into here, and you can see it's like barely anything here. And you really only see the first like 6 words. So for the most part, I just don't even include the description. I'll just leave this blank. All right. And you can choose whatever you want to do. I just have, my idea is that it doesn't make that big of a difference. I typically will just leave it. And that's going to allow people to pay more attention to the other parts of the ad, which are a little more important. The last thing, or not the last thing, but the next thing is the call to action. So the call to action is this little button right here. And we can actually tailor what that button says. So for example, these are the different call to actions that we can choose. So I could use subscribe, I could use apply now, book now. Depending on what your offer is and what you're offering and what you want to optimize for, you can change this call to action to be whatever it is. If I'm doing, if we're doing estimates, then, or setting appointments, then we can, click book now. If we're doing like an app, or if I'm giving away some kind of free course or PDF or whatever it is, maybe I want to do download. If we're using an offer, like some kind of special offer, I could do get offer. And that's kind of the different ways that you can change this little button. All right. Okay. The next thing is the destination. So where are you sending these leads to? If you remember earlier, we chose that we're going to choose a lead form ad. And a lead form ad is something that you build directly within Facebook. So I'm going to click create form, and you can see I can build it all out. So make a name for this, form 1, whatever. Okay, form type, more volume versus higher intent. Higher intent basically gives them a review screen right before they submit their information to make sure that all of their information is accurate. There's an extra screen that they have to press one extra button, and by doing that, they're more likely to be accurate and actually interested in your services. So they're less likely to submit on accident and that kind of stuff. Then you have a background image. That's the image that shows up right here where this little image avatar is. And the headline, okay, get a free estimate, right? It shows up right here. And then you can either do text right here in a paragraph format, or you can do a list, right? List 1, whatever, list 2, right? And so on. But either one of them work fine. They're both great. Then you can choose the questions, whether I want to. So the first thing is the pre-fill questions is the first thing you're going to do. Remember that when we're doing lead forms, the pre-fill questions are automatically filled because Facebook already has the information on the user. They already have their name, they already have the phone number, they already have their email address, they already have all that. So it already comes pre-filled when they arrive to the screen. So you can add, whatever it is you want to do. You can add question, you can add category, contact fields, phone number, address, city, state, what zip code, whatever it is, I can add it in right here. And I can also add in manual questions, whether that's going to be a multiple choice question, a short answer question, all that kind of stuff. So I can choose that stuff right here. And typically the best practices are you want their name, you want their phone number, you want their email address, and you want at least one qualifying question. 2 is, as a good also, okay? So when you're just starting out with your offer, you typically want to make it as easy as possible for them to convert. And then after that, you can make it more challenging for them to submit the information. You can make it more qualified to lead, more qualifying questions. So you can do that as well. And that's where you do that right here. And that's pretty much it. And then at the end, you can have, say this is the thank you page. Now you can use this thank you page to have them call you, to visit your website. I typically am going to use this to have them book their estimate or book their appointment or book their sales call, whatever it is. We're going to use this as an opportunity to move them down the pipeline. And so if I want them to eventually open up a what's it called? A book an appointment, then I'm going to use this page to have them book an appointment. All right, have this link will take them to a booking page, and then I don't have to actually call that person and book the appointment. They're actually able to do it themselves, which is helpful. All right, so that's how easy it is to create an in Facebook on Facebook lead form. It's a native lead form that's built into the Facebook app, and that's what we do most of the time. Here's kind of here's what one of them looks like. Okay, here's an example. All right, you have the offer, you have one qualifying question, then it has their personal information right here. Again, this is pre-filled, autofill, and then you have the privacy policy, and then they submit it. All right, so that's pretty much that's it. I know it seemed like a lot, but I went through and explained every single feature on this entire thing. And imagine that once you get good at this stuff and you know that the actual ads, like the settings you want to do, this really only takes a couple minutes to do from beginning all the way to the end. So that's pretty much it. Like it's not too complicated. I can make a campaign in like less than 15 minutes. And that's kind of the place that you want to get to. If this seems complicated to you and you want extra help, all right, I understand it can be a lot. If you want extra help, guys, I'm here to help. All right. You can come to my website, www.alistair.com. Should be a link someplace in this video. And then you click on free Facebook ads PDF cheat sheet, and you can download the cheat sheet that I created to help kind of make some of this stuff more easy to digest. And if you need help, you want extra help, please reach out to me. I've specialized in all kinds of different businesses and helping all kinds of different customers. It doesn't matter what your business is. Like, I can get you going. I can get ads running for you. I can get you sales. I can help grow your business, like period. I hope this was helpful for you. And I hope this was something that, kind of made sense for you. But anyways, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for taking some time to watch this video. Appreciate your time for making it this far. If you have questions, please reach out. I'm a very accessible person. And hey, keep going, keep grinding, keep working hard. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Have a great day.